Quadratic equation is same like quadratic polynomial. What was a quadratic polynomial? Remember, the standard form of quadratic polynomial was ax square plus bx plus c. The only difference between quadratic equation and quadratic polynomial is that in case of quadratic equation, the equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Whereas in case of quadratic polynomial, in the equation only we had ax square plus bx plus c. This is in case of quadratic polynomial. These are the two differences between quadratic equation and quadratic polynomial. What do we mean by quadratic equation? A quadratic equation is an equation say in variable x whose degree is 2. There is the highest power in the quadratic equation is 2. What do we mean by roots of quadratic equation? Roots and solutions are same like quadratic polynomial for quadratic equation only. That is, let us assume that alpha is a root of a quadratic equation. So in order to find out the value when this root is substituted, that will be my quadratic equation. For example, alpha is the root of quadratic equation means I know standard form of quadratic polynomial is, I'm writing QP for quadratic polynomial, ax squared plus bx plus c. So instead of x, substitute alpha since alpha is the root. So a into alpha squared plus b alpha plus c. Okay, this is how you do. I'll give you an example. Let us suppose we have a quadratic equation 3x square plus 5x minus 3, and I'm asked whether plus 7 is the root of the equation. What I need to do? QE I'm writing for quadratic equation. Okay, so what I will do is this 7, since it is a root or not, I will substitute in this equation. So in place of x, substitute this 7, 3 into 7 square plus 5 into 7 minus 3. That is nothing but 7 7s are 49 plus 5 7s are 35 minus 3. What is 49 3s are? 9 3s are 27, 3 4s are 12, 12 plus 2 is 13, 14. So 147 plus 35 minus 3. I know it will give me some number. 147 plus 35 is 182. 182 minus 3 is 179. 179 is not equal to 0. I can say that plus 7 is not a root of the quadratic equation. So root here also means, root or solution here also means that the value of x when substituted, the equation should become equal to 0. It's not a root of the quadratic equation. These were the standard form of quadratic equation and the roots of quadratic equation. Now let us find out the methods by which quadratic equations can be solved. So any quadratic equation can be solved by the following methods. First method is factorization method, which is also called as splitting the middle term. This already we discussed in the polynomials chapter also. You can go and check out, and I'll make future videos also on this. This is the first method by which a quadratic equation can be found out. So how to find out solve the quadratic equation? By using factorization method or splitting the middle term. Then we can also use completing the square method. Okay, we'll discuss about it later. Just remember the methods. Then a quadratic equation can also be solved by quadratic formula method. So what is quadratic formula method? We know what is quadratic standard form of quadratic polynomial, ax squared plus bx plus c. How to find out the roots of quadratic polynomial? by quadratic formula this method I'm explaining you in detail now. What we'll do is, first step, we know our standard form will be given in the question. Standard form of quadratic polynomial, which is nothing but, we know ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Okay, so from this we will get what is the value of a, what is the value of b, and what is the value of c. Okay, then what we do is, there is a formula called x is equals to minus b plus minus root b square minus 4ac by 2a. This is the formula for finding out the root of the quadratic equation. Suppose the equation is in the form of variable of x, then this is my value of x. Okay, and what is b square minus 4ac? In quadratic polynomials, b square minus 4ac is called as d, where we give the name of d as discriminant. D, or it can also be called as delta, that is, it can be represented as d or delta, and this d is called as discriminant. After finding out the discriminant or value, that is d is equals to b square minus 4ac, we will get one number. If that number is positive, that is, if d is equals to b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, positive means greater than 0, then we can say that roots are real and distinct. Then how can you find out the roots? If in case it asks in the question, find out the nature of the roots and also find out the roots. Means first find out the value of d. If you are getting a positive number that is greater than 0, you can say the roots are real and distinct. Then what you do is find out the roots by the formula x is equals to minus b plus minus root d by 2a. Whatever value you get, here substitute that value. And remember, in quadratic equation we will have two roots because the degree is 2. So one will be here. We see here one is plus, one is minus. Means one root is minus b plus root d by 2a, another root is minus b minus root d by 2a. Two roots. For if suppose you get the value of d is greater than 0, these are the two roots to find out the value of roots. Okay, this is the first condition for finding out nature of roots. Okay, suppose you found out d is equals to b square minus 4ac and you got that value is equals to 0. If d is equals to b square minus 4ac is equals to 0, then we can say the roots are real and equal. You need to remember these conditions. Then what is the formula for finding out x? The formula for finding out x is not, substitute here, x is equals to minus b plus root. What is d you got? D you got as 0, right? So substitute here 0 by 2a. Now root 0 is 0 only. So x is equals to minus b plus 0 by 2a. That is nothing but x is equals to minus b, x is equals to minus b, okay, plus 0 is also same, minus 0 is also same here. So we can say plus only, minus b plus 0 by 2a. That is nothing but x is equals to minus b by 2a. So what are the two roots I got from this formula? One is x is equals to minus b by 2a and other is also x is equals to minus b by 2a. So remember this. In order to find out again from starting, just remember that if d is equals to b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, find out the value of x as minus b plus root d by 2a and minus b minus root d by 2a. Suppose if d value you are getting as equal to 0, find out the value of x as minus b by 2a and minus b by 2a. Here also we have two roots as the degree of the quadratic polynomial is 2. The third method is, suppose if d value we got as less than 0, that is, suppose if d is negative, then what are the roots you will get? Roots will be imaginary. Imaginary roots means they are neither positive nor negative, that is, you will get in terms of I. Okay, that is, they do not exist actually. So in that case, in order to find out roots, you can say roots do not exist. Okay, so if d is equals to b square minus 4ac is negative, that is less than 0, we can say the roots will be imaginary. So if the roots are imaginary, remember that roots do not exist. That is, we cannot find out the value of roots. If in the question it asks you to find out the method by discriminant method or quadratic formula method, or if it is not asked also, you can use this method. That is, find out the value of d. What is d? B square minus 4ac, that is nothing but discriminant. If you are getting positive value, roots are real and distinct. X is equals to minus b plus root d by 2a and minus b minus root d by 2a. That is, these are the roots. Suppose if d is equals to b square minus 4ac is equals to 0, then roots are real and equal. And x is equals to minus b by 2a, comma x is equals to minus b by 2a. These are the roots when roots are real and equal and you get d is equals to 0. Then if d is equals to b square minus 4ac is less than 0, that is, if suppose we are getting negative value, then we can say roots are imaginary, and if roots are imaginary, we can say roots do not exist. Some more points in case of quadratic equation are the sum of roots of quadratic equation, that is alpha plus beta, is given as minus b by a. We know that. What is b and a here? We should compare this. How will we get this b and a values? By comparing with ax square plus bx plus c value. We'll get the value of b and a by comparing with ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, and similarly find out the product of roots of quadratic equation. Product of roots of quadratic equation is equals to c by a. C you will take from this quadratic polynomial and a also you will take from this quadratic polynomial. Okay, and we also know that suppose if alpha and beta are the roots of quadratic equation, then we can form a quadratic equation from this roots. There is our quadratic equation when roots are given is x squared minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta. Remember, these things I said in the quadratic polynomials video also. Okay, so this was a revision for you. So these same points apply for quadratic equations also. Now this will be equal to 0 because it is a quadratic equation. Okay, so hope you are clear with this concept of quadratic equations. Okay, in the further videos I will explain you each method in detail and we will also solve problems. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Please share the video with your friends, and if you have any doubt you can comment below.